All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining in person, and also those viewing on the meeting on Hartford Public Access Television Station, channels 96 and channel 96 and channel 6032 at Comcast on Frontier. This public comment shall be conducted. I'm going to read a few house cleaning, so please listen up. The public comment shall be conducted in accordance with the following rules and regulations. Each person shall give his or her name, and if he or she represents a group, shall in addition state for the record the name and the address of said group or organization. Every speaker shall be limited to 3 minutes. I'm going to thank Councilman Amilcar Hernandez for being our timekeeper. So you have 3 minutes to speak. The remarks shall be addressed to the council, not as a body and not individually. During the public comment, no member of the council may address the council, must address the council as a whole as a member, and any person making personal, impertinent, or slanderous remark, or who become boisterous while addressing the council shall be barred from further attendance at the council meeting. During the public comment, there shall be no debate by the council, although questions may be asked by councilperson at the meeting. There is a sign-up sheet. The council comment is from 6 p.m. until 7. At 7 p.m. we go into our regular council meeting. So I will call the person's name, and again, please give your name and address. You can come to the podium and give us your name and address, and you can speak for 3 minutes. When the alarm goes off, please wrap up what you're speaking on. We have lots of people who want to speak, and so we are definitely going to limit your time to speak to 3 minutes. First person to speak is going to be Dave Richardson. Dave? There you go, Dave. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dave Richardson. I'm also Hartford Chapter Vice President for the Connecticut Tenants Union. On August 10th, myself and I think it's 50 units were burnt out of 105 Sherbrooke, and we're displaced. We're living in motels that's not even fit for dogs. I don't have a microwave. It's been costing me pretty close to or more than $50 a day for me to eat. I've had phone calls from people today complaining that they don't have anything to eat. And I'm trying to understand why the council and the mayor has not done anything to help us. We've been told by Health and Human Services that there is no need to relocate when the building is condemned. I'm lost for words, because no one treats their enemies like this, and we've been treated unfairly. We are told that we have to break our lease in order to get any kind of assistance. We are told today by property manager that we're not going to be back in there for at least 6 months, and we're being held in limbo. I'm disabled. I'm on fixed income. I barely managed to scrape through for the last month. I'm down to almost $20 in my account. I don't know where my next meal is coming from because of a greedy landlord, and I'm going to say this. I reported several times to the city council here that this building is not fit for people to live in properly. I can't afford to move, and now I'm actually displaced along with many of my fellow tenants here, and we need assistance, and we need assistance now. This cannot go on any longer. We need to be placed in proper housing where we can actually make our meals and have decent dinner to eat. I have sleep apnea. I can't use the machine where I'm at. My health is actually going down the drain. I'm using my cane more and more because of the situation that's going on. And not only me, but many of the residents here are suffering the same plight. And we need to address it and have it taken care of. There is no need for anyone to be living under this condition. Hartford is a third world country. It's not even a first world country anymore. The way in which the council and the mayor and the city and everyone is treating its residents is unfair, unhealthy, and inhumane. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Mr. Richardson. Next person to speak is Adelis Vargas. Ms. Vargas? She's not here. All right. All right. We will get back to her. How about Jessica Perez? No. Carmen Cordero? Okay. Well, let's see. If nobody else, now why don't you go ahead and we can always go back to Jessica.
Good evening.
I'm gonna pull the microphone down so you, there you go.
¿Así?
Sí.
Okay, buenas noches. My name is Carmen Cordero. I'm a lifelong resident of Hartford. I'm also a community activist and a community organizer for over 35 years. And I'd like to address the council today on the lack of affordable housing in Hartford and the devastation that our city is going through right now, not only from what happened in Sherbrooke Street, but what's also, I want to address a building on Madison Street, another one on Farmington Avenue, some on Gillette Street, and what's going on in Hartford, where our rents are being raised for three-bedroom apartments when you can rent for $950 cold flat, or even $1,000. Now they go for $1,400 and $1,300 cold flat, 2 bedrooms. You know, so when we speak about affordable housing, I would like to know affordable housing for who? Because when you call Section 8 and you complain about the things in your apartment, the first thing that worker tells you is, I have a list out of Hartford where I can move, where you can move. We can, you know, you can always move out of Hartford. And then you have the way for the city. When you call city code violations, right, where you call, I think it's 211, and you report the apartment or the conditions that you're under, once that the city is called and they go out to do the inspections, your apartment could have 10 or 15 things wrong with it, right? And if you are living under these conditions and you don't have Section 8, then obviously you have to work. And some people work 2 or 3 jobs. And so when you call the city inspectors, they come out and they do their inspection, right? I did not know, I really didn't know until not too long ago that all that landlord has to do once he's fined by the city is get one or two of those things fixed, and the case is closed. And so here I stand and I'm asking, what are we doing about the people that are falling through the cracks? Because right now we have a tenant who was forced to move. She was forced to move her apartment. She went to housing court and she chose to find an apartment, even though they gave her, the landlord took her to court for 3 months, right? And she didn't pay the months for 3 months. So when she went to court and they said, okay, the judge says, okay, so you don't have to pay for rent for 3 months, but you have to pay him three more, you know, you have to keep paying the rent. You have to keep paying rent, but you have to move. I'm gonna give you 3 months to move. So she wound up, and then within those 3 months, she still has to kick up that rent. Because remember that if you do not pay rent and you go into housing court, and if just by the grace of God they cite on your behalf, it's okay. But if they don't, your credit gets ruined. And when you go apply for a credit for an apartment, the first thing that they do is they run what? Your credit. They run your credit and anything else that has your name attached to it.
Ms. Cordero, don't forget, we got 19 or 20 more people signed up.
My whole point is we need
Yeah.
a rental cap.
Yep.
We need a rent cap, and we need rent control.
Okay,
We need some serious rent control, and again, housing for who? Thank you.
thank you. I'm going to go back and see if Jessica Rivera is here as yet, or Adelis Vargas. No? All right, we can go back. I'm just going to move on. Carlos Rivera?
Good evening, Council.
evening.
How you doing tonight?
Doing well, sir.
I just wanted to say that the response time of Hartford PD and the city of Hartford is very, very horrible. From 6 to 12 hours to respond to just a simple call.
Carlos, 1 second. Could you tell us your address, please?
252 Simpson Avenue, Hartford.
Thank you.
It's very horrible. This weekend, I have my backpack and I always put my iPhone in like a pocket, like a side pocket, because I don't want to have it in my pocket. And when I got home, I couldn't find my phone. So somebody that was walking beside me robbed me for my iPhone. And I called Hartford PD at 6 o'clock in the evening. And then I waited to 12, which was 6 hours later. And they're like, oh, we got other calls that we got a response to. And I'm like, what's going on? You know, I've been waiting 6 hours. Oh, we are sorry for the inconvenience. Your call is not an emergency call. And I said, okay. I waited another 2 hours. Nothing. 2 hours later, I called and I canceled. And then I called Sunday morning and I waited all morning, all afternoon, and no officer called. And I had to cancel the call again. This is very ridiculous. Other towns, I did research on police response on other towns, like Manchester, has a 5-minute police response time. And that's from my own experience that I had to call Manchester PD for something. So from my own experience, Manchester PD has a 5-minute response time. Even East Hartford has a 3 or 2 minutes response time to respond to a call. So to wait 12 hours for Hartford PD to not respond to your call is very ridiculous. I can't even do an insurance claim for my phone because the insurance company wants a police report and I can't even get it done. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you so much, Council. We need a better response time for Hartford PD. The citizens are getting angry. Last year, I had to see an old lady get ran over at 170 Simpson Avenue. I called 911, and the first responders that got there was the fire department. It was right next door. It took 2 hours for the police department to come. Enough is enough. Thank you.
One question, did you ever get a police report?
I can't get the police report because every single time that I want to do the police report, I have to wait and wait and wait and wait and wait and wait, and no police officer comes.
Okay, all right. I was just gonna ask you to share your number with one of the staff and see if we can help you at least get a report so you can file for your cell phone.
All right, thank you.
Next person to speak is Michael Downs.
My name is Michael Downs. I live at 74 Rosemont Street in Hartford. A month ago, I spoke of the unions, and I'm speaking again about unions. I noticed most of the council members, or all of them, all of you are pro-union, and that's why I voted for you. And but I'm discovering that the mayor may not be. So I'm asking the council to look at the nominations of the mayor that he puts before the council and to make sure that these people, ask them how their feeling is about unions. And of course, if they're against unions, vote no. be very careful of reticence toward unions, because we cannot have people nominated and approved for various positions in the city that are anti-union, because this is a union city. Most of the vast majority of the workers are union. Secondly, we need more affordable housing in the city. There's a lot of empty buildings. Money should be made available from the federal government, from the state, to build more affordable housing. We have over $1 trillion worth of corporations in the city. And at least, if they don't want to pay their fair share of the tax, at least they could contribute a little bit to the housing problem in Hartford, affordable housing, as well as, of course, contribute to the education system. Thank you.
Thank you. Myra Melendez.
Good evening, Council. I'm here to speak on behalf of my mother, just so if she speaks Spanish, I want her to get a message across in English if we're good.
Well, we've got two beautiful councilperson here that if she
Okay.
wants to speak in.
I'd like to be the voice for my mother. I've been helping her throughout this process.
Thank you. Good
Thank you.
son. Wonderful.
All right, so these are going to be in her words, but good afternoon. My name is Myra Melendez. I've been a resident of 105 Sherbrooke for 16 years. When I moved into this facility, we had security guards and better administrative management. Over the years, it's been deteriorating. I can mention a list of irregularities and how they treat us as marginalized people. Now I'm here with all the relocated residents coming together for justice, solutions, compensation, fair rent, and to be respected. On August 10th, 100 units were vacated, including mine, due to a fire that is still under investigation. They stripped our apartments and our souls too. I want to know, where was the security that was promised to us? Now, who will take responsibility for the mistreatment and the lack of respect due to the robberies that occurred last week? Many of my belongings were stolen, valuable jewelry, electronic devices, clothes, and more that I still don't know about because 15 minutes is not enough time to see what else was taken. Sorry, it's just infuriating, the whole process we've been going with this. On top of that, the new administrator is harassing us to terminate the lease. Where's the respect and where are our rights? I want to raise the voice of every resident not to feel intimidated when expressing their feelings. The feelings of all of us must be compensated for the pain, desperation, and abuse with justice. Now I feel guilty without having any guilt. These people only took advantage of the situation to claim properties that do not belong to them. I ask you with my shattered soul, where am I going to find the ashes of my grandmother? I am standing strong because I am a faithful lover of earthly justice, and I ask you, the responsible authorities, what is the solution, and where are we going to end up with these contractors, the ownership of Concord Hill, the mayor, and the city of Hartford? We want seriousness and commitment for each of the residents of this locality. On behalf of the residents, I want to thank the tenants union who have taken on the task of supporting us and being our driving force. Thank you for your work and for giving us a sense of security. One thing I do want to ask, since I have a little bit of time, management has only responded with animosity and a complete lack of empathy for everything that everyone has been going through. This is unsat. It is terrible what they're doing. Completely terrible. And I have to emphasize that. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up to speak, Marisol Navarro.
Good evening. My name is Marisol Navarro, and I'm a tenant. I'm a tenant of 105 Sherbrooke Avenue, and it's been rough. It's been rough because why do I live there? I live there because, not because I'm happy there. I live there because it's all I can afford. Right now, I'm going through cancer treatment. I got displaced. There was nothing wrong with my apartment. My apartment was completely demolished. My things are ruined. Half of it is stolen. My apartment was completely ransacked, along with the apartments of the rest of the residents of our building. Who's gonna rent to me now? I don't have enough income to go and try to get another apartment. I'm working under the table so that I don't lose my husky, so that I can have treatment. The reason I live there is because it's all I can afford on the 3 days that I work under the table. And no one has come to our help except for this lady. The Red Cross was there and gave us toiletries and snacks the first night. They threw us into dirty motel rooms. They don't have kitchens. At least I can go to my daughter's house and make some food. But I have people here that don't have family members where they can go and use their kitchens. And they don't have the money to go out and buy breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. Hartford is being sold to these multi-million-dollar people coming in here from New York and other places while we have all these buildings that are condemned and we don't have people that can rent us and give us affordable housing. They need to do something about it. I don't want to have to leave my town, my state, because I can't afford to live here when I was born and raised in Hartford. It's a shame, and nobody's doing anything for us except for people like her that have a nonprofit, and the city still haven't done anything for us. I haven't had anyone from the city contact me yet. I haven't spoken to anyone that can give us help and give us a solution. Someone needs to do something. Going back to what the gentleman said about the police response, my car was stolen last month by my ex-boyfriend. I found my car before the police did. And I have a restraining order. And I called them. And it took them 2 hours because they were changing shifts to send somebody. I could have gotten killed in that time. And there was no response. But thank you for giving me the opportunity, and something needs to be done. Before I go,
Sure.
my medication, I had to go days without my medication, and I couldn't go in my own apartment. But people were able to go in with a key and steal and ransack from my apartment. Thank you.
Thank you. Destiny Rivera?
Hello, my name is Destiny Rivera from 105 Sherbrooke Ave. Sorry, I wasn't quite really prepared to speak, and everything is pretty much overwhelming. I just had my baby 2 months ago and was already having issues with this management before the fire even happened. Apparently, they were trying to evict a whole bunch of people, falsely evict people. The woman who was helping me, along with other tenants, ended up quitting after realizing all of the problems that we had. Unfortunately, after all this, it is taking a toll on my postpartum after having the baby, because being sent to a motel with no kitchen, I have to wash my baby's bottles in the bathroom sink, getting bit up by bugs. There's cops there at the motels every day. It smells like mildew and smoke in the rooms, so it attaches to my baby stuff and my stuff as well. And the fact that there just hasn't been any acknowledgement really on all of our suffering right now with everything that's going on, from fires to water damage to stealing to, I went back to my apartment and I had no walls, no floors. I had nothing but studs, like the poles, the wood poles where they start building. Yeah, I didn't have none of that. All of my stuff was thrown into bags in a corner, in the back corner of the apartment where my room used to be. They emptied out all my drawers where I had important stuff like my baby's umbilical cord and his footprints and stuff. They threw it into a garbage bag with other stuff that they really didn't need to touch. They moved a whole dresser to a corner of the room but emptied out all of those drawers, so I don't know where any of that stuff is. Granted, it's just a pet, but my bunny's ashes were missing, so that I was saying too, I was like, I know it's just a pet, but what if somebody else had a family member in which there was a situation like that? And the fact that they were literally just malicious acts. It wasn't even like they were just trying to have a shopping spree. They were peeing and pooping on people's floors and leaving it there. They were eating out of people's fine china, leaving it by the elevators. Apparently, people from the other side of the building noticed that they were putting garbage bags by the trash cans and then coming back at night to steal them, so they were disguising people's stuff as garbage. But yeah, I found all my baby's ultrasound pictures crumpled up. All of his other stuff, I can't really find it because, like someone else said, they only give us about like 10 to 15 minutes to even find out what's where. So yeah. But yeah, I feel like a lot of us need more, like, the city just needs to take more acknowledgement into what's going on and how the tenants are treated, because it's not even affordable housing like other people are saying, and this is the cheapest city in the state. Like, everything is infested with roaches and mices, and the landlords really don't care about us at all. Everything is just, yeah, they treat us like garbage.
Thanks, Destiny.
Thank you.
Next up to speak is Gemma Ferrentino.
Hello, my name is Gemma Ferrentino. I am a resident of 105 Sherbrooke, and I'm also 3 weeks postpartum. On August 10th, my apartment caught on fire, and I went into labor that night. I had came back, and all of my belongings were stolen, including my child's belongings. I have nothing for him. They took my insulin. I have been off insulin for 3 weeks. If I need insulin, I have to go to the hospital because my insurance won't cover it anymore. My ultrasounds were ripped up. They stole my birth certificate, my social security card, my ID. They tore my apartment apart, destroyed all my furniture. At the moment, I have nothing to my name. I had to go out and buy all new diapers and stuff. Everything from my baby shower was destroyed. I'm not from here. I'm from Louisiana, so I have no family out here. I don't have family to go to stay with. I'm right now staying in a motel. Instead of bringing my baby home, I brought him to a dirty motel. My ceiling's leaking in my motel. There's mold everywhere. It smells like mildew. All of his stuff smells like mildew. I had reached out to the city. I believe his name was James Walden. He told me that he was gonna look into it and call me back, and that was 2 weeks ago, and he never called me back. I was supposed to be moved. I was told that I was gonna be moved into at least a suite where they had a kitchen. I wasn't moved into a suite. I'm right now staying at the Economy Inn in East Hartford, and there's cops, there's prostitutes, sex traffickers. There's a crackhead that lives outside of my apartment screaming every day, or my apartment, my room, screaming every day, wakes up my baby. I'm asking for help because I'm on maternity leave. I work for Hartford Healthcare. I only get 60% of my paycheck, and I'm looking at the rates for apartments, and I can't even afford an apartment for me and my child. I've only lived at 105 Sherbrooke since November. I have moved there when I got pregnant so that I would have a home for my baby. I'm fresh out of medical school, so I still have debt from that. Unfortunately, I don't have the support of my family, so I don't have anybody that could help me. I have a GoFundMe for people on Facebook and stuff, but even that's not enough. And I'm not sure what else I'm supposed to do, especially given the fact that they stole all my belongings and that's everything that I own. Other than that, the cost of housing is too much for me, and I'm not getting the help that I need. Thank you.
Thank you. Next to speak is Ariana Garcia.
Hi, I'm Mariana Garcia from 105 Shedbrook. As everybody already said, we got robbed, they kicked us out. We're just here, just looking for help. We just need to be placed either somewhere better, or if they want us to move, we need to see where else we could go that is somewhat the same rent or something. I don't know. It's just too much. I have a 3-year-old. This was unexpected. We just trying to find help. We need help. We need somebody to do something. This is unacceptable. We're just living in a hotel is just too much. It's just, our kids can't take it no more. We can't take it. It's too much. It's been already a month, and they say it's gonna take 6 months. That's too long. And supposedly the hotels only get paid for 3 months. What are we gonna do for the rest of the 3 months? We don't have nowhere else to go, like literally. So we just here asking for help. We need help. Thank you.
Thank you. I think I overlooked Olga Amador.
Good evening, my name is Olga. I was living in 105 Chevrolet 20 years. I enjoy my apartment. The fire was in my apartment. 2 weeks before the fire happened in my apartment, I sent a text message to the manager. I remember it was 4 o'clock in the afternoon. In my text message, I wrote, I had issues with my stove for a long time, and I received a really strong shock in my body when I moved my pack. That was not the first time. The another administration, I sent a lot of messages about the same issue. They always said, oh, we're going to replace your stove. And always they put an excuse that the stove was not the right one, the right stove. And the ending, I never received the stove. Another thing that happened in the apartment, I used the bathroom. I think I had my hands wet. When turning all the light up and down, it's giving me another shock. One time I called the city, and I told them I had a lot of issues with the power in a different bathroom. That was an electric issue. Okay, that was go for a long time, 20 years. 20 years I suffered with rat, with mouse, with bed bug, with roach. I know you asking why I stay there, because that's the only thing I could handle. I don't have no choice to move it to another place. I had to stay there. When there was another fire 2 years ago, we was ending without no elevator, without no laundry, nasty place. We had to clean it. This lady and myself, we was cleaning the stair. We had a lot of issues. Nobody cared. They never do anything. But the more concern was the behavior of the manager with me. I asking her to give me some time to beat between all the stuff that I had to go to get my stuff that was still good. She only gave me 10 minutes. I left almost my stuff right there. More than $50,000 in stuff that I have it for 20 years, because only 10 minutes. She was fresh with her mouth with me. I had to asking her, let me go, let me do it, let me get my mattress out. I paid $2,000 because I have problem with my back. She was fresh. And we not deserve that. These people, they are hiding themselves for longer. I know, I went there to live in 2005. I had different owners that was there. That's all I want to tell you. And I want, please, you have to do something for us.
Destiny McKnight.
Hi, I'm very nervous, but my name is Destiny McKnight. I am from 105 Sherbrooke Avenue. I am apartment 58. I am on the ground floor. I'm one of the few that has gotten their apartments gutted, but they were going to go as deep as they possibly can. But I am here today to express my concerns and my distress from lack of communication with the Gray Hill management and also the city of Hartford. I've called multiple times, and all I keep getting is to call the relocation. I'm at the inspections department. The inspections department tell me to call the management. The management does not answer. So I am left with no answers at all. And I was thankful enough to go, I believe 2 weeks ago, if not a week ago, to go and get my things. And I was able to meet this awesome lady right behind me who was able to get me resources and to get me help to get out of the economy in, because the ceiling fell in my apartment, my doors didn't shut, the bathrooms were leaking uncontrollably, and I was almost a victim of prostitution. So I literally needed out as fast as I can, because I also have a 5-year-old son who's on the spectrum, who his schedule is completely dysregulated from this. And I just want some answers from either the city or both the city and the management on what to do next, because if I am forced out of my complex with just my $900 of a deposit to go and find something else, knowing that rent is $1,250 for just a 1-bedroom, it's kind of scary. So if these concerns concern you guys all at all, I would really, really appreciate your words, and to please, if you can, help us, because as you can see, a lot of us are here from this one place, and we have gotten no answers. And as you see, I'm 29 years old. I look like I am 18, and they really do run over me bad. So I was grateful enough to meet these people, but I need your help now. So thank you for your time, and I hope to hear from you, any of you.
Okay. Annie Goshen? Let me show you, where do I go? Anne?
Good evening. I'm glad that there are 5 of you here now. It's so important to know that the council people are here to listen to the public speak. What you've heard these people say so far is only scratching the surface of what actually happened to them over at those Sherbrooke Avenue buildings. That building was built in 1971. It has been flipped at least a dozen times since then. The current management ownership has only taken over that property since May. Now, I don't know if any of these people have said this, and my friend Jendai is going to be able to tell you a lot more because she's been very close to it. The fact is that after the fire, yes, the people were evacuated. There are over 120 apartments in the complex, but I'm told that only 10 of them actually received damage. So many of the residents still had everything intact in their apartments, but they were still forced to leave and have not been allowed to come back, even though their apartments are in good condition. I found out today from one of them that the company, the management ownership, is actually renting some of the vacant apartments out to new people But some of the tenants who have lived there for 5, 10, 15, 20, and more years can't go back. Seems problematic to me. A couple of people, like Dave, have family members that he can stay with, but the people who the city has put in, I believe, 4 different motels, out of which 3 of those are pretty sketchy places. As one of the people said, drug dealing, prostitution, other kinds of stuff going on there. We all know there's apartments like that around, motels like that around the city of Hartford. They've been there forever. So what these people want is compensation for their stolen goods. Some of those things were extremely important to them. Some of them were family heirlooms that are irreplaceable. They're gone. Why are they gone? At first, I thought that vandals had just broken in after they were evacuated. I thought they were vandals who came in and robbed these apartments. That's not what it was. These are actually people who were told to go check on the apartments and given a set of the master keys, and these people that they probably had hired them, paying them for this, went in and ransacked these people's apartments. So that's on the management property owners too. They allowed those people to go in there, supposedly just to check on the condition of it, and instead they took their belongings. This is a horror story. 6 more months in a motel without a kitchen, 6 months in a place where there's no laundry area. Maybe they don't have a car and can't get around easily. I look to you, compassionate people sitting here on the city council, to please amp up, talk to either housing or talk to health, because these are issues in housing and health right now for these people. Okay. And I hope to see something good come out of you listening to them this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. I only can read the last name. I think it's Rosario. Can you see the first name? I can't pronounce it. Let me see the first name. I know. I don't know. All I remember, all I can read is Rosario. Okay. Maybe the address, 25 Ward Street? 25 Ward Street. Couldn't pronounce your first name. Okay. Before you give me 1 second, can I ask the members or the residents of 105 Sherbrooke if you could leave your contact information with one of the staff, so when we look into it, we can reach out and let you know what we find?
Okay.
Okay? So if you, it says follow Kelly outside. She'll be outside, or any of the staff members outside. If you could share your contact with them, that would be a help.
Okay. Okay. Well, I got first in my throat. The reason I come over here today is because we have been confronted a lot of issues in the building, what 25 Ward Street is.
25 Ward Street. Okay.
And I don't know, the owner of the house gave it that building, just give it, no name, to his nephew, and he started remodeling left and right. Break it this, break it road, take it this, take windows to whatever out of the building. I mean, that is not, I mean, they don't give you a date. Hey, tomorrow we're gonna start it. The thing is, right now, one of the things I've been there in the first floor myself, because my mom passed away not too long ago. The thing is, I don't know why. And this is something like it's another day. He said that he's gonna be remodeling this because sooner or later they're gonna take care of that property. And I check it, and nothing have been done because they still in the owner's name, which you have the 25 word sheet. You look at the name, right there it is. The thing is, nothing has been transferred, whatever. The thing is, right now, I don't know where can I move it. I started cleaning everything out, but the thing is, if you're not gonna stay there maybe 1 month or whatever, but he want to increase the rent because he's starting to remodel this and that. I mean, he bringing everybody there with a hammer, do this and do that, without permissions at all. I mean, this is crazy thing. And secondly is, in this case, why, if it is going to be happening, they don't give you a note ahead of time, which is what we've been doing it, or not only that, figure out if you have people living in there, where you're going to put that people to live in, to stay there until you finish, if the people want to move back in the building. So they don't do that either. And here we go. How come in Hartford here, places like that, they don't have I'm talking about places like that because there's a lot of good places in here. Why they don't have no control of renting here in Hartford? Because you're not going to bring it, for example, if you have a small house, look for people, low income, whatever, you're going to increase it $1,250 or $1,400 a month rent. When you know exactly that is no go even at $900. How come you don't have no control renting here? Like if you look in New Haven or any other city around here, you don't go in there and make it a thing they accord with you because you hear from somebody else. No, the place is supposed to be have a control renters and keep it down according with the building. So you're not going to put a rent in every house. I mean, you got to fix it because that's you got to go with the according with the law. But come on, you have to understand. You have to common sense that you're not going to increase the rent just because you have to be looking at that in the future. Well, right now, it's a lot of people here having suffered, like people here, because they don't have the the way they can put the amount of rent and pay, monthly to month, because you're living for what? Social Security, SSI, or whatever. You have to keep an eye on that, and then we have to do something here.
Okay.
And that has to be doing it now, not in the 15 or 25 years from now. You got to do that, and we got to do that over the state, not in the city, around the state. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Jedi Miller. Jendiah. Sorry about pronunciation.
Good evening. Just want to make sure I got my notes right. Good evening, everybody. So I'm here today to speak on behalf of the tenants of Sherbrooke Avenue. These tenants have endured unimaginable loss and pain. Their homes, their memories, their children, and pets have all been shattered. Among the many things they've lost, some even lost the cremated remains of their loved ones. Concord Hills allowed their staff to come in with keys and wipe these families' lives away. This is not just about material possessions. This is about losing what makes us human. Our ID, birth certificates, passports, our dignity, and our pride. This afternoon, I received text messages from tenants who said they were given misleading paperwork from the Gray Hill Group when attempting to pick up personal items. The documents which tenants were pressured into signing in order to retrieve their belongings after a devastating fire released the company from all liability. Now, with nowhere to go and their legal rights unknowingly forfeited, tenants are seeking justice and support from the city leaders to hold the property management company accountable. Bruce King tragically lost his life in the fire at Concord Hills Apartments. His death has raised suspicious concerns among tenants and community members. The circumstances surrounding his passing remain suspicious, with many calling for a thorough investigation to uncover the truth and ensure accountability for the tragedy. It is deeply troubling that despite the millions of dollars Gray Hill Group has profited from the city, tenants have been manipulated and abandoned in their time of need. The city of Hartford needs to step up and take immediate action to protect these families. The same attention that's given to the plethora of ribbon cutting ceremonies around the city that seem to be the only priority. Their lives have been turned upside down, and it's unacceptable that this situation was allowed to reach this point. Angel of Edgewood doesn't have a lot of money. You all know that because you all don't support me. I didn't call millionaires to help me feed these people, to get diapers, to get wipes. I called friends, compassionate friends who said, come and take my credit card. The same compassion that the city needs to have for these families. We're not asking for favors, we're asking for accountability. The city needs to prioritize people over profits. It's time to stand up for those who's lost so much and ensure that this never happens again.
Next to speak is going to be Hamid.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I came here today to talk to you. There is a law opposed to the residents will cause poverty. I see everybody here complaining. They're not complaining. They're poor. They need help. So what I'm saying to you is the city is imposing our residents to pay parking ticket, what they call garbage ticket. They oppose $60 every Wednesday. And they don't have a solution where to people to park. They say 8 hours, 6 hours, you have to leave the city. They evict us just like the Gaza. So where we will go? I talked to the mayor. I had a meeting with him. I said, where should the people park? It's not, nobody making a violation. Imagine you're not violating anything and you've been given a ticket. You didn't commit no crime because you just leave the city because you don't have a parking, because we live in a building. They said 6 hours. I asked them where the people go. Our garbage, our street, Lawrence Street, they come here at 7 o'clock. They leave less than 20 minutes, less than 10 minutes. I told him that. I said, if you want, you can come in and check it out. I said, why 6 hours when it only costs 20 minutes? The garbage from the Capitol Avenue for the Lawrence go over the Russ. He said, oh, because we want to clean the street. They don't come every Wednesday. We have sometimes 5 Wednesdays, 4 Wednesdays, but they want the money, $60 a pop, because they have nowhere else to park. I'll be pushing them this and talking to the parking authority. They say it's not our problem, it's the city who need this. Now parking authority is saying that we have nothing to do with this. It's the garbage collectors, the people in charge, want us to give the people a ticket. It reminds me of poll taxes. This would cause poverty. A lot of times the people ask, what caused poverty? Poverty caused by the laws that will harm the citizens, that will cause them economically poor. So imagine the people work 30 shifts, our building we live. Some will work for the Hartford hospitals. You know, they work for a 30 shift. When they get off from work, Joshua used to live with us. When they get off the thing there, where they will go in the morning? They have to, all the way down until afternoon, because it's 6 hours, 7 to 2. Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, thank you. Sorry, Mr. Ahmed. Can you share your how to contact you?
Yes.
Because
Yes, I will
so we
give
can
you the
get
numbers
some more
by phone. Yes.
information from you, okay?
Yes, we will do that because I want to elaborate with you. We want to eliminate poverty. We have to eliminate the laws, unnecessary laws that will make economically the community. Okay. Imagine that lady I was talking about, she worked for the third shift in Hartford Hospital. She's a cleaner. She said when she got off 7:30, she comes there. She said, where should I park my car? We cannot park the whole city. They said, you cannot there until, they said, oh, go Park Street. I want you to listen to this. How economically harmful to the community. They said, go Park Street. That's where the market of the community is. So everybody parked there. Do you think economic growth? No, we're not going to have economic growth. Because nobody's going to have no place to park to buy from the people to do that.
All right. So there's a staff person outside. If you could, there's a staff outside the door. If you could share your contact information so we can get some more information from you.
I will do that. Because
okay. They're right outside the door.
Thank you. And the housing, I used to do that. I used to advocate for the refugees. We win the cases.
Yeah.
Second time in the history of state of Connecticut that residents win from the landlords. Second time in the history of for the state of the United States. We win the case. Yeah. So those people, we can help them. Believe it or not. I'm listening and I'm like, this is not hard cases.
Yeah.
You know.
Thank you, Mr. Ahmed.
Thank you, ma'am.
I don't believe anybody else has signed up to speak. No? Oh, remember the ones we... Exactly. I have Jessica. Or we have Adelis. She don't want to speak again?
And then we have to wait for somebody else, and they haven't
All right,
been
well,
able
you
to
can
get
speak
here.
for her.
However, I tell you, give you a little, that we have some issues, and Molly knows about it, some of the houses issues that we have. The people have been contacting the city's code inspectors. They have been going over there. We speak to the head of the housing court inspections. I mean, this is going on and on and on. And as you see, this 105 tenants has been working on that property for a long time and end up in fires. You know, people end up being displaced, and that's why we are very concerned about it. The people have been trying their best to to work with the city about reporting the slum landlords that we were supposed to get rid of it. According to the campaign, when the mayor was campaigning, it talked a lot about slum landlords, and we're still dealing with the slum landlords. We have this tenant it's a Marshall Street, but it's part of the whole old empty buildings that are there on Hamilton. She lived with her mother, which had Alzheimer's, and it's a shame what she had to put up in that apartment. And the city is aware of it. They've been there. The inspector have been there. We got shit dog, and you know, this place, it's a shame that she has to live like that with her mother, all right? And like that, we have all the tenants. The inspector have been going over there. The landlord does the wishy-washy thing, and they get an extension, and the case gets closed, and you have to continue again and again and again contacting. People get tired. And then when people don't know what to do and they stop paying the rent, they end up being evicted. And when we're trying to do that right way, and we're trying to get to do some escrow payments into court, we got all these kinds of barriers that is we're not able to take advantage of that law so that people can protect their interests and not being displaced and really live the way they're supposed to live without being worried about being evicted. I mean, this is things going on. What we're saying is that the city should use the laws that are still in existence already, because there's some housing laws there about receivership. Instead of giving this landlord extensions and extension, the city giving an ultimatum on these landlords and take over this property. There is a non-profit organizations that are willing to manage this property, and to these landlords, these slum landlords, do what they're supposed to do, you know, so the people live a decent, you know, but they pay for the rent because the rents are very expensive. All right? I mean, it's all kinds of law. Other new laws has to be put in place. The thing it is that the city has to put a stop to the slum landlords because we are sick and tired of it. They're coming over and over and over and over with the same problem with the rat, with the roaches and everything. And you all invited to come and join us Saturday with our verbena. We have a recycling verbena on Walker Street, and you all guys invited to it. All right? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Seeing that we have no other speaker, I am going to adjourn this public comment. We will take about a 50-minute break and get ready for our regular council meeting. Thank you, everyone.